It's locked. It's locked. Another corpse thrown in the streets. Someone's playing.
Was hat er in den Händen?
I know this brooch. This is my mother's. A birthday gift from father.
Oh, oh. Die Leiche durchsuchen.
29 Pretty Orchard Street. That's near Poplar's district. Why would this man carry off my mother's brooch? I must go there.
Ich kenne ja.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time for men like you.
Have we met before?
No, but I just need to look at your fancy clothes to know that you must be desperate to visit the docks at night.
That's quite judgmental of you.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to identify you as an enemy of the working class.
Haben Sie
Did you
gesehen, was
see
passiert
what
ist?
just happened?
No, I didn't. And I don't care.
Really? Why is that?
Because this sexist pig is one of the 4 men who blacklisted me. Good riddance, if you ask me.
Ihr lieben London, erzählen Sie mir von Hampton.
Giselle, I know you sleep at Hampton's shelter. What can you tell me about him?
He provided a roof for me and my sister. I am grateful, of course, but he gives me the creeps.
Why is that?
He's always sad, like he's about to cry. He's always asking us to get closer to God, to give ourselves to the Lord. Creepy.
Was machen Sie
May I
beruflich?
ask what you do for a living?
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you? Have you ever had to struggle in your entire life?
Ärzte arbeiten auch sehr hart.
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have to work a lot to earn that title.
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in a nice house, were we? Was Daddy a banker or a doctor himself?
Sie mögen,
Why
Sie
such
mögen mich
hatred?
nicht allzu sehr.
Are you judging me by my clothes and my job?
Course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see your privilege. Lazy people like you disgust me.
Persönliche Fragen. So, wir können ja erstmal über diesen Teil
What can you
der
tell
Stadt.
me about this vicinity?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here and then ask me that question again. If you're still alive, I mean.
Sie sehen mich als Feind?
You don't know me, Miss Paxton, and yet you see me as an enemy.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
Sie haben recht. Sie haben keinen Schimmer, wer ich bin. Ich bekämpfe Armut. Sie haben recht.
You're right, Miss Paxton. My clothes and my manners do speak for me, and I may not belong here, but that doesn't make me a bad person.
You tell me, Dr. Reid. You tell me.
So, sagen Sie deutlich, was Sie von mir
If
halten.
you have something to say, say it. I'm getting tired of all this.
Oh. You want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton does not like you at all, Doctor.
Sehr gut. Dann gehen wir hier rein. Sind Sie in einer
You
Gewerkschaft?
speak of strikes and class enemy. Am I right to assume you're involved in trade union activism?
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
Arbeitslos wegen Ihrer Überzeugung?
You lost your job because of your beliefs.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Keine Hilfe von der Gewerkschaft?
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need? Why don't they support you?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money in that bar. Some sort of militia in uniform. I'm sure they robbed me.
Über den Tod ihrer Mutter.
Giselle, tell me about the death of your mother.
After our father died, Mother worked so hard she made herself sick. We spent all the money we had on useless drugs and doctors. It was hell.
Hell? What do you mean?
The three of us were exhausted and desperate. And when I'm desperate, I tend to get angry. And I'm hard to live with. Lottie said I killed Mother.
Sie sollten mit ihrer Schwester reden. Lottie hat es nicht so gemeint. Sie sollten mit ihrer Schwester reden.
You should talk to your sister. Whatever happened when your mother died, the truth lies somewhere between your two versions.
I don't want to talk about that. It was years ago. We Paxton sisters are tough. We don't apologize.
Well, I'll leave you.
Dann
Glad to see you again, Mr. Reid.
Is it
Es
not
ist nicht
dangerous
gefährlich,
to
nachts zu
work here at
arbeiten.
night?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble. The sad saint now provides me and my sister a bed and a roof. I don't want to lose that.
Okay. Der trostlose
What
Heilige.
can you tell me about the sad saint?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton, the sad saint of the East End. He gave me shelter, and he's not always sad.
Sie sind obdachlos?
Are you homeless, Miss Paxton?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place for me and my sister.
Über diesen Teil der Stadt.
What can you tell me about this place? How are things here?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy doctor from the city like yourself, you better watch your back, Mr. Reid.
Finden Sie, ich sollte gehen?
You really think I should go back to a safer place, miss?
No, I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can. Just avoid the wet boot boys. Those bastards are worse than the epidemic.
Welche Gefahren gibt's hier?
Which local dangers must I avoid?
Well, the gangs, the thieves, the drunks, the jobless. A man with your fancy clothes will attract a lot of attention.
Well, I am not someone so easily intimidated.
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can always seek help at Sean Hampton's shelter. No one would dare to be violent there.
Okay. Die Frage ist, wieso nicht? Persönliche Fragen über den Tod ihrer Mutter.
Lottie, tell me about the death of your mother.
Giselle killed her. Plain and simple. She killed her with her daily whims, her laziness, and her complaints.
That's quite a statement. You can't kill someone because you're fickle.
Mother was very ill, but I forgave Giselle. What I couldn't stand was how she cried at her funeral like she was the one left alone.
Gisela ist nicht mehr so hart im Nehmen wie Sie. Warum vergeben Sie Gisela nicht?
Perhaps your sister is not as tough as you are.
I know that, and I don't blame her. It just makes me sad that my own sister is the person I understand the least.
Warum vergeben Sie Giselle
Giselle is
nicht?
the only family you have left. Don't you think it's time you forgave her?
Sometimes words are harder to forgive than acts, Dr. Reid.
Okay.
Goodbye, Miss.
Ach, ich hätte nur nachfragen können, was hier passiert ist.
Glad to...
Did you see what happened?
No. I was coming back to the shelter from work when I heard an awful scream, and there was this man, dead, just in front of the building.
You saw nothing at all?
No, I told you, just that awful woman's scream.
A woman scream? Are you sure?
Of course. It was terrifying. I thought it was my sister, so I ran. But it was a man I've never seen round here before.
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
Okay. Was hast du?
Good evening, Mr. Throgmorton.
Dr. Reid, can I be of any assistance? Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
Über diese
What can you tell
Nachbarschaft.
me about this neighborhood?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham? Poor boy. It's a shame I wasn't around to protect him.
It's impossible to protect everyone. The violence seems endemic in this part of town.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire. These evil rodents are spreading like a plague.
Ihre Arbeit.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people? I'm curious.
I patrol late at night, investigating anything unusual. I try and encourage people to stay indoors, but people are careless.
Brauchen Sie Hilfe?
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters to alert the population to the vampire threat.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires around the docks?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that, then I can focus on my patrols.
Woran erkennen Sie einen Vampir?
How do you identify a vampire?
It's simple, really. They can't stand daylight. They're afraid of garlic and holy symbols. They also cannot enter a house without being invited.
Have you ever killed one of these creatures? Yourself, I mean.
Of course I have. What kind of question is that? It's a dirty business, believe me.
Persönliche Fragen über die Wache von
Have you heard of the Guard of Priwen?
Of course. They're dedicated hunters. A little militant for my taste, but they do let anyone join.
Waren Sie in Versuchung, der Wache beizutreten?
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard yourself?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter. They're more of a sanitary militia.
Jagen Sie
So you hunt alone? That sounds risky.
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry and follow certain patterns. It's just a matter of observation and patience.
Haben Sie gesehen,
Did
was
you
hier
see
passiert
what
ist?
happened to him?
Actually, yes. He was thrown from the roof like a vulgar log.
Sind Sie verängstigt? Wer wäre zu so etwas fähig?
Who could have done that?
Who? Well, a vampire, of course. Look, bite marks on the neck and lacerations here. There is definitely a vampire close by.
Sind Sie verängstigt?
Why is it that you sound so afraid?
You didn't see it. He was dead before he hit the ground. The strength required to do such a thing, well, it beggars belief.
Ihr sollst du doch
Goodbye.
eigentlich wissen, wie stark Vampire sind. Eine herausfordernde, verängstigte junge Mann sich in der Kanalisation versteckt. Muss hier dann irgendwo hier die Antwort sein, oder nicht?
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Flockt. Aber das ist halt auch kein großer Radius, in dem wir suchen sollen. Weil hier ist der Radius schon zu Ende.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Do you need any help?
Rest assured, I will help you, sir. Martin Nightingale, at your service. Please, take a look at my wares.
Your merchandise. I don't really see anything worth having. No offense.
None taken, sir. But please, I need to eat. Perhaps if you keep looking, you'd see something that takes your fancy.
Ihr Leben in London, sind Sie kein echter Geschäftsmann?
Let me be frank. You're as much of a businessman as I am a werewolf, right?
Who the hell are you to question me? It's hard enough to stay clean when you don't have a place to sleep. I'm doing my best here.
I meant no offense, Mr. Nightingale. I was merely pointing out the fact that you're unlikely to survive long if you continue wandering this path.
And what should I do then, sir? Should I join the wet boot boys like so many others? No thanks. I'd rather be a bad seller than a dead gang member.
Gute, ja, über die
What can you tell
Nachbarschaft.
me about the neighborhood? Have you got any friends around these parts?
Not really. Miss Gillingham smiles and says kind words, but I know she's lost her marbles, especially since her son died.
Wer ist diese alte Frau?
Tell me about this crazy woman. Madness is often mistaken for other conditions.
The poor woman's mad, all right. Kind and all, but she has so much trouble remembering things. She's taken me for a son more than once.
Was ist ihrem Sohn geschehen?
How interesting. I don't suppose you know what happened to her son.
Jack! Rumour has it he tried to tackle some gang lads. I didn't know him well, but I heard he was a nice enough chap. His old ma still thinks he's around.
Persönliche Fragen, warum holen Sie sich keine Hilfe?
Why not try seeking help instead of peddling your wares? I'm sure there are people around here that would gladly help.
There's always the night asylum. I heard it's run by a very nice man, but I'm no beggar. Not yet, at least.
There is no shame in asking for help, my boy. Sometimes it can even be the best course of action.
I don't feel okay with that. I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I'll do it by myself.
Goodbye.
Wir haben halt diese Uhr gefunden, ne? Bringen Sie einem Verwandten, verkauft sie jemand anderem. Okay, aber wir wollen jetzt erst